Hey everyone, this is ToxicTuna back for part 2 of reading your Life is Strange theories. I had a lot of fun doing the first video, so I was really glad to see that you guys enjoyed it too. And since it appears that Life is Strange episode 4 is going to be delayed another week, I figured why not do part 2 of reading your Life is Strange theories. Just real quick before I start this off, please do not be discouraged or disappointed if your theory does not show up on these videos. I'm really only going to be sticking to about 5 theories per video. They kind of run under that 10-minute mark, so that's kind of where I want to be at. I have a pile of maybe like 30 to 40 theories from you guys to choose from, and really all I'm doing is grabbing 5 random ones from that pile. They're not in any order. Theory 1 of this video is not any better than theory 5 of this video, so if your theory isn't picked, please don't be discouraged because it may be shown in a future video. Okay, so let's get started. In episode 1, Mark Jefferson says to Max, "You have a gift." What if he meant the gift is Max's power to rewind time? So Mr. Jefferson actually says this more than once, I believe. Max has a gift. Max has a gift. It's pretty interesting that he says that, right? He doesn't say to the whole class, "You all have the gift of photography," or something like that. He's specifically addressing Max. So what if instead of that being just a bullshit motivational line, he's actually hinting at the fact that he knows Max can rewind time? And if that's the case, then how the hell does he know Max can rewind time? He would really have to know something that we don't know, basically, at this point. He'd have to know exactly how you get the power to rewind time in the first place. So maybe if he was close to Rachel Amber, and she had the power to rewind time, like I mentioned in some of my other theory videos, he could have possibly learned how she gained that power. And if he knew how she gained the power, he might know how somebody would receive it in the future. So basically, he predicted that Max would be the next one to receive the power to rewind time. And though I haven't really talked about it much at all, I do think that Mr. Jefferson may become one of the real bad guys in the end. So if this theory is true as well, it would be pretty interesting to see how this all plays out and see how connected Mr. Jefferson is to someone like Rachel Amber. I agree with the idea of Joyce being dead in the alternate reality. In Life is Strange, a person's spirit animal seems to be whatever animal they are associated to the most. Joyce has worked at the Two Wheel Diner for years, associating her with whales. In the alternative timeline, the one animal that we see dead is, in fact, whales. So this is a little bit of a +1 for my theory that Joyce is dead in the alternative timeline at the end of episode 3. So when Max is riding the bus through Arcadia Bay to get to Chloe's house, she sees multiple dead whales on the beach. Now while this may just be a sign that Max is causing more damage to the universe since before she was just seeing dead birds, it might also be a bit of foreshadowing in regards to the alternate reality. So since when you think of the Two Whales Diner, you're most likely going to think of Joyce, it would almost make sense that her spirit animal is a whale. And since they're dead, it might also be a sign that Joyce is dead too. So while you may think it's best to stay in the new timeline since William is alive, it might actually not be so great since number 1, obviously Chloe is disabled, and number 2, though William is alive, the death in the family just got transferred over to Chloe's mom. In regards to saving Alyssa, I think it's like your plant. If you watered it in episode 1 and 2, the plant will end up drowned to death in episode 3. If you interfere with the timeline too much to overprotect someone, the risk may roll up to the point of no return. So this seems to make a lot of sense to me. I think the big thing here is that Max is really not fully aware what she is doing when she's time traveling. She has no idea how much negative effects she's actually causing. She only really notices this at the end of episode 3 when she sees what she's caused after saving William. So the plant may have been a sort of foreshadowing of this event. If Max attempts to overprotect something, then it may end up as a negative effect later on. Really, what the game developers may have done is sort of create a moral to the whole game's story, which is that time cannot be changed, that everything is more or less fate, and that attempting to change the past is futile and will only lead to problems in the future. This could mean that interaction in terms of saving Alyssa is actually bad and will probably lead to something worse happening to her later in the game. I predict at the end of episode 5, the way to solve all the problems is by using the first ever selfie that Max took and go back to Mr. Jefferson's class to let Chloe die. Okay, so this comment actually has 2 pretty good theories in it, so let's go over these one at a time. So this theory is actually really common, and I mentioned it before in my walkthrough of Life is Strange. But basically what it's saying is that since Max is messing with time and is causing all this weird weather and animals are dying, that she really needs to go back all the way to the beginning of the game. This was a theory even before we knew that Max could jump into photos, so now that she has the ability to go all the way back to that first selfie, it really makes me wonder if it's true. But now remember, there's going to be multiple different endings in this game depending on the choices you make. So I think that rewinding time to the very beginning and letting Chloe die and starting with a clean slate may actually be an option, but I think it would only be an option if you chose less desirable choices. I say that because there's no wrong choice in Life is Strange. I think everything is pretty balanced, but basically there are choices you can make that are probably not desirable to a different choice. So if you end up making a large amount of those less desirable choices, you might end up with this outcome, which is basically one of the worst outcomes you can get in the game since it reverses literally everything we've done, but nonetheless keeps the town of Arcadia Bay safe. If you choose to tell Principal Wells about Nathan having a gun in episode 1, then in episode 2, your room will be trashed, with the photo wall beside your bed being painted. This event may be much more important than we thought, since we may be able to use any photo in the future to go back in time. But if your photo wall has been contaminated, certain photos may become unusable. So this is definitely an interesting theory. Since it is proven in episode 3 that we can sort of teleport into small sections of time, it would be awesome if we were able to jump into possibly all the photographs that are available to us, including the ones on Max's wall. Now remember that we were only able to interact within a set boundary when going back in time with a photograph, but that might mean that we can see little sections of the past with each and every photograph on Max's wall. That might actually allow the player to view small tidbits of Max's life, like maybe there's a photograph of her playing in the backyard of Chloe's house when they were young, or maybe a photo of Max when she first left Arcadia Bay, or maybe a photo of Max with her parents. All things we might be able to dive into and learn a bit more about her background. But these would only be possible if you choose to not tell Principal Wells about Nathan in the bathroom. This would definitely be a difficult task on the game developers to do, but it would certainly add a huge amount of replay value to this game. Alright everyone, this is all the time I have left for this theory video. Thank you all so much for continuing to provide some awesome creative theories. Again, if your theory is not up here, please do not be discouraged, as I hope to do more of these in the future as long as you guys continue to enjoy them. I really hope that we will be seeing episode 4 up very soon, so I can't wait to share some of my own theories as well as some of yours after it is released. Of course, when episode 4 comes out, I will try to have those videos uploaded on my channel as soon as possible, so please subscribe if you'd be interested in seeing those. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this video and would like for me to continue making the comet theory videos in the future, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Stay awesome, guys.